Hi, I'm just going to walk you through a demonstration today. The first one being our social media module, which sits on top of the Enterprise Content Management Suite. And then I'm going to walk you through our knowledge management solution, which provides an external self-service portal for your customers to search for knowledge articles, and an internal guided knowledge article system where your UPS call center agents or knowledge workers can then use the guided search facility to help provide the right articles to their customers at the right time. So as I said, the first one's going to be focused on our social media module. Here we can see we're logged into our social media module. It's on front of us in the screen, and we can see that everything has been branded with the UPS logos. And here we've got just our landing page of the UPS logo and the strap line for We Love Logistics. So our social media module is predominantly focused around capturing data which comes in from social media sites, and for purposes of the demonstration, we've taken a message from your social media site, we've ingested it into our social media module, and I'm just going to log in and show you how the social media module application has captured the message, analysed the sentiment of the message, then applied some automated workflow actions, and then created a case based on the categorization of the message. So in order to do that, I need to come into the inbox. And then before we go in and show you that, I just want to highlight what social networks the social media module can pull in out of the box. So on the right hand side here, we can see we monitor Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, Instagram, IBM connections, email. So with email, it's email addresses such as customer services @ info @ sales @ we can bring in those messages into our social media module and analyze the sentiment of those emails in the same way you would do with a social media message. And then finally at the bottom, we can also do the same with SMS text messages. So if you have an SMS shortcode, we can pull those text messages into the social media module and understand the sentiment of the message. And then we can then apply automated workflow actions on those messages. So in order to show you the post which we've captured, I just need to filter by social media account, and I'm going to choose our demo account which we've created. So here we can see at the top of the screen that a message has been captured from a customer, and it's a customer Nolan Buffalo, and I repeat, this is a live post which is on your site, and it says, I see lots of complaints, no resolution. I know I'm still waiting. Nolan Buffalo, the cell phone number. Please feel free to call me. You have my number. Here we can see there's some words highlighted in red. If I hover over them, this is just showing that the social media module has analysed the sentiment of the message, and it's identified that this message is a complaint, and we can see that it's automatically marked the message as a high priority message, and that shows by this pill being completely red. So what I want to do now is just go into the conversation history and then just show you all of the workflow actions the social media module has provided on this message. So the first action, I said, it's analysed the message and it's identified it's a complaint. Our social media module sits on top of the IBM Enterprise Content Management Suite and utilises FileNet and Content Analytics, or now known as Watson. And within Watson's, we've created lexicons, libraries around complaints, sales leads, insurance claims, negative sentiment, positive sentiment. When we pull these messages into the social media module, we're analysing them using the natural language process engine, and we're running them against the relevant lexicons or the categories. And in this instance, we've identified the message as a complaint, and we've assigned it against the complaints category. Then the social media module has applied some out-of-the-box workflow actions. So it's automatically replied back to the customer on Facebook, acknowledging the fact that we've received their social media message. So what's happening here is the customer is getting a real-time response. Sometimes it takes organisations several hours or even days to respond to posts which have come in via the social channels. Using the social media message, you can get a real-time response within 2 minutes. You can get a reply to that social media post, acknowledging the fact that you've received it. Then we've also marked the message as a high priority message. You saw earlier that I showed you that the pill was completely red. That just shows that the message has been marked as a high priority post. We can then send an email notification to your complaints processing team or customer services team, just alerting them to the fact that a complaint has been received via the relevant social channel. So if I come into my inbox here, you can see the email notification. In the subject line, it's very clear that a complaint has been received from Facebook. When you see the body of the email, you get a link to the software so that the users are then able to log on to the social media module to see the message, and it gives you the user ID for the social channel and the actual context of the post. And lastly, we can then take that social media message from our social media module and we can integrate it into IBM Advanced Case Manager, and we can initiate a case for your complaints processing team so that they're able to process this complaint through to resolution. So as I come down, I'm just going to open up our Advanced Case Manager application. So this is our skin of Advanced Case Manager, but effectively it's built on top of IBM Advanced Case Manager. And at the bottom here, you can see that there's a case in bold. So this is that social media message which we've captured from our social media module and we've integrated it through into IBM Advanced Case Manager. But before we go in there, you'll be able to see on this screen here, you've got some cases which are in red and some are in white. Within this screen, we use SLA deadlines. Any case which is in red means that it's exceeded its SLA deadline. Any case which is white means that it's a new case and it's well within its SLA. We also have a third color, which is amber, which means that a case is going to be exceeding its SLA. So as a user of the system, you can quickly come in and you can see what cases have exceeded their deadlines and which are new. So you can use this view to see where you need to prioritize your resource in order to process these cases. So I'm just going to double click on the case which we originally created. This is now going to open the social media message. Here you can see this is the post which you captured, and on the right hand side there's a viewer. You can see the contents of the message. On the left hand side of the screen you get to see the case processing. You get to see all the case documents, so all the social media messages, and whether there's any other electronic documents which have been assigned to the case, you can see them in the case document section. And then finally we have a case notes section. But one of the key features with our integration into the IBM Advanced Case Manager software is that we've embedded this SMC4 icon. What this enables you to do is, rather than when a complaint is received via social channels, lots of organizations tend to direct the communication off social media. So they ask people to reply back to an email address or to reply back to a telephone number. By integrating the social media module into the IBM Advanced Case Manager software, you're able to still talk to your customer via the social channel. So if I was to click the social media module button and let's say take the complaint reference from the top left hand corner up here, I can write back to Joe Bloggs. Customer reference number is I can hit send. This is now going to take the data. I'm going to take the post from the IBM Advanced Case Manager. It's going to pass it through the social media module to make sure there's no profanities or there's no non-compliant phrases in there, because before it gets released, it's run against the IBM Content Analytics software to ensure that there isn't any inappropriate saying in the message. Once it's passed, it's then released back to the social media page, back to the original post from your customer, and there they can see their acknowledgement to the relevant post. And then if we come back onto the social media page, if I click on message, there you can see straight away there's the automated reply which has come out, and that's real time. So that's quite cool. And then the way your call center agents then are able to process the social media posts is by the use of checklists. Within the Advanced Case Manager, we can stand up relevant checklists depending on your business rules and processes for how you want this complaint to be processed through to resolution. we can engage with you, understand what your processes are, and we can stand up these checklists in the IBM Advanced Case Manager software. So that's what I wanted to show you on this bit. But then also within our social media module, what we're then also able to do is as I said, I've then also stood up all of your relevant social media sites as well. So if I'm just going to filter this based on some of the UPS, the data feeds. So I've just chosen some of the data feeds here. I'm just going to clear the Hampshire Insurance, and then as we can see, these are some of your live posts, and there's one here that's come in. I will never use at UPS, making waste my time, rude ass customer service at their location, kiss my profanity, UPS. So this is a real-time post we've captured. This has come in 7 minutes ago, and straight away that we can see that nobody has responded to that message. And also what we can see is, we can see the user that submitted the post. It says Mel Ruiz. And then we can actually see where she submitted this post from. So if I'm to click on the pin, we can come down and we can stroll out. We can see that this post has come from Florida. It's close to Miami. We can scroll right down to the street view. I can drop a pin, and then if I turn around, we can then see where the red dot is there. That's where the social media post was submitted from, and it gives you an approximate address. So it gives you the geolocation if people have that enabled on their smartphone. And this is where we can come in and we analyze all of your messages. So from this view here, I can just come in, and if a case wasn't automatically created, the users have the ability then to click on create case. So it's a very powerful tool, but not only can this be used just for complaints, we can also use it for claims, for negative sentiment, and for positive sentiment. This is just a brief example for what I wanted to show you. So now I'm just coming on to another browser, and here you can see we've now created a dashboard around service issues. And this is just an example of a dashboard which we can create for you. So here we can see it shows you for the service issues what was their transaction type. So it could be what issue was incurred, and then it tells you for the issues what the reasons for the case were, and then it gives you on the bottom right hand corner the individual line details for those relevant cases. So what I'm able to do then is then filter, was this case a administration error, was it an external error, or was it an internal error? So for the purposes here, I'm just going to click on external error. Then this now tailors the whole dashboard, so it only gives you the result for all of the service issues which were due to external errors. And again, it's just tailored all of the different menus on the screen. And then as we scroll through, we can then come in and see what the transactions types were, what the issue was, the reasons for the feedback, who the processing agents were, and then it gives you a timeline of the process cases that were all of the external errors. And if I just click on one of these numbers, we can then I've chosen the process date. We can now just come in and see all of those particular 7 cases that were processed on that day. We can then view all of the reports tailored on those 7 messages. And then if I then come on to the last screen, this just shows you all of the cases which have been processed by the resolver. And then I can come in and I can choose on a particular resolver. So in this case, I'll choose Anna. And then all of the information is then going to be tailored on this one relevant resolver, which is Anna. It shows you all of the cases that she's resolved on, and it shows you all of the process cases she's resolved across the time period. So this is just an example of the analytic dashboards which we can provide. This is all going to be data on the cases, and we provide this as part of our analytics dashboard, which sits on top of our social media module integrated into IBM Advanced Case Manager. And then lastly, I said I wanted to come on and show you our knowledge management solution. So here what we've created is we have embedded a knowledge management portal into organisations' external website. So it's just a knowledge base where customers can come in and they can search for relevant articles. For this example, it's based around a manufacturing company, and they create products such as televisions, PDAs, electrical devices. And so this is just an example of a knowledge-based solution where here we can come in, the external customers are able to search for a relevant issue or a relevant product. So here we can come in, I'm just going to choose the word PDA and then going to hit search. The knowledge-based solution comes back with a list of all the relevant articles which it has found. These are all rated via content. These are all rated via a star rating. So when the users come in, the customers come in, choose an article, they can review the article, and then at the bottom of the article, they can come in and say, they can leave their feedback. Okay, they can say, was the article helpful? Yes or no. In this case, we're going to say, yes, it was. They can give it a rating. I'm just going to say 5 out of 5. They can leave feedback, and I'm just going to say, excellent knowledge article, hit submit. That then automatically goes through, feeds the data back into the IBM Watson technology, and then it can just amend the content boosting. So if everyone was saying it's 5 out of 5, that rating would go up to 5 stars. And then the way the system works is it then displays the knowledge articles with the highest rating first when searching for those relevant articles. And then say, then there's always a scenario where the knowledge article may not necessarily be able to help resolve the issues. So then we've come down and we've got a customer feedback section here where a customer can fill in their credentials, they can put in their name, their contact details, so their email address, telephone number, hit what their preference is, request a callback, and that will then integrate into the call center system. So the UPS customer service agent can then call that customer back. They can help them resolve the issue. And the cool thing about that solution is it remembers what searches that customer has performed, so that the call center agent will have an idea, have a history about the searches, so they'll be armed already to help resolve that customer's queries. Then we've also created an internal knowledge management solution, which will be used for your internal knowledge workers, so your call center agents. So when somebody phones up and they have they may have an issue with a particular product or service, your call center agent is able to enter into the free text box the description of what the problem may be. So it could be that somebody has an issue with a particular a product or service which you offer, but in this case, we're going to say that somebody has an issue with a particular model number for a product. They're able to come in, search for that model number, and then it will retrieve the relevant articles which relate to that particular knowledge number. It could just be that they have an issue with a product in general. And then what we can do is we can hit submit. That then presents us with a list of articles that are related to that relevant product. And straight away, our knowledge management system knows, okay, if it's an issue with a PDA, is the article going to be around an error message, or is it going to be around accessories which are needed? So we can come in, and when we click on the PDA error message, it's then straight away it then asks another set of questions. Okay, now we know that it's an issue with an error. Is it going to be a memory issue? Is it going to be an issue with data transfer? And then using the breadcrumbs at the top, if it was if the knowledge worker selected the wrong link, they can then come back previous step, and then they can choose the next set of questions. So around the PDA, and again, all of this data is filtered based on the content ratings, and this is separate. This is created by the internal knowledge workers, so the internal ratings that the knowledge workers give. And each icon either has a headset icon or a spanner icon, a wrench and spanner. So if it's a headset, then the call center agents knows that this particular incident can be resolved over the phone. If it's the wrench and spanner, then they know that further investigation and analysis is needed before that relevant issue can be resolved. So that's our internal knowledge management solution. And then we also have a knowledge management article creation software. This is where we list all of our knowledge articles. The relevant users who have appropriate rights can come in, They can edit knowledge articles, or they can create additional knowledge articles. All of these articles can then be stored either on the internal knowledge management solution, the external knowledge management solution, or they can be present on both. So that's just quickly everything that I wanted to cover today. I hope that makes sense, and I hope the presentation is going well. Thank you.